Yes, hello everybody, and welcome back once again to the Dynasty Hotseat, the only Dynasty show out there that is a certified inferno. And we are back once again with the worst Dynasty team ever. If you are new here and you're not really sure what that is, very, very simply, a couple of months ago, I went on a mission to find the worst Dynasty Fantasy Football team you've ever seen in your life. And I found it. And over the last couple of months, well, I've been fixing it, but not alone. It's thanks to this amazing audience that is watching these videos at the moment, commenting live on things, or if you can't quite catch it live, commenting later. And I'm making moves that the whole community wants me to make. And this is the whole point of this video, because I want more people involved here. We got hundreds of people watching these videos. I want hundreds of people contributing. I want as many voices as possible here because we're going to need the help. All you have to do that is leave a little comment on YouTube, on X, wherever you are watching this. If you leave a comment, I'll be able to see it. And then just let me know what you think I should do with this absolutely dreadful team. Playlist below on YouTube, you can catch up with everything that's happened already. And of course, you know the drill, hitting that like, hitting that subscribe button as well. So let's get right into it. If you're watching live, which I can see quite a few of you are watching live at the minute, which is great, leave a comment. You can see there's a little comment box off our left one saying leave a comment and say hi. Leave a comment, I'll say hi, and we'll work through it. So let's catch up on where we left off last week, will we? So last week, this is where we left off, where we had put on a couple of these guys onto the block. We had put on Spencer Rattler. We had put on Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Brian Thomas Jr., we popped him onto the block to see if we get any offers. And Juju Smith-Schuster onto the block as well. And there was a little bit of a chat about waivers. And then some waivers went through. Dearness Johnson, we didn't get. C.A. Buckeye putting in a bit of 45. I think we put in 6. Yeah, so blowing out the water there. Blowing out the water completely. In terms of our matchup last week, if we had a look, didn't go our way, unfortunately. Only 75 points. Clyde Edwards-Helaire in the end was inactive, so nothing that we could really do there. And we had an opportunity here because Jonathan Taylor didn't play on the other side. Brian Thomas giving the goods again. Trey Tucker doing all right. Dalton Schultz on the side down. T. Higgins, a big game. That's what we wanted to see from T. Higgins because we do want to sell him as well. Juju going out in the first play really hurt us a lot. Xavier Worthy not doing much, and Kirk Cousins not doing much either. We do have Jameis Winston still there. In terms of the bench, I believe Noah Fant, Mecole Hardman did well, and it wasn't Noah Fant, I believe, did all right too. I can't fully remember. I think we have Noah Fant. Yeah, he got 12 points, so he did okay. So unfortunately, we didn't grab that win, and we weren't able to get Dearness Johnson either, which is a bit of a shame because he would have been nice for our team. Julius Chestnut got picked up by Nathaniel. And then I was a little bit busy. I seen Mecole Hardman had a big week, put him on the block to see if we can get any interest from him. Of course, Kansas City signing DeAndre Hopkins maybe puts an end to any Mecole Hardman value. Put on Noah Fant because, again, he had a big week just to see if we could draw anything. And then the weekly report came out. We were the worst manager, which we really don't like to see. But even if we had 100%, we still wouldn't have won. So, you know, can't really do much about it. And also, I don't know if that factors in that we don't have any running backs or not. That we couldn't have started any running backs that would have done better there. So I'm not really sure. But coming off 100% a few weeks ago, not great to be down in the worst manager. Now, you'll see here, I made some moves, which I don't like to do without you, but because this is a weekly video every Thursday, I knew I would have to make this move now. We got Dorian Thompson-Robinson off the waivers. We got rid of Mac Hollins. So now we have Jameis Winston and Dorian Thompson-Robinson as well. Do we think that was a good move to make? Let me know in the comments if you think, yeah, good idea to go out and get DTR. Pair him up with Jameis Winston, and hopefully we're going to be able to sell one of those guys. Wanty picked up Sterling Shepard and dropping Dare Ogunbowale, who's actually looked okay whenever he's played a little bit. And then C.A. Buckeye picking up Will Dissly, who's actually looked pretty good as well in that last game. Andre Iovas gets dropped. I wonder if he's someone we might want to pick up. But now T. Higgins is back. He's sort of seen as his relevancy go. And then I sent a DM to Pitcairn, if you remember from last week. Pitcairn is a new member of this league. We did send out an offer or two to him. I've heard nothing back. I tagged him in a message. I sent him another message. And then I just tagged him in here. I know Sleeper can be funny with notifications and DMs and things like that. So I don't know if he's got back to us yet. We'll have to check. Then I popped Jameis Winston onto the block. DJ Turner and Amir Abdullah got dropped, as did Jared Stidham, and Cavante Turpin also getting dropped. So quite a lot of activity, quite a lot of things happening. So let's roll in right now and see the trade offers that we have out, because we have one that has come in to us, which is quite nice. You can see we messaged last week Saitama trying to get Patrick Mahomes. Now, in the end, Saitama said that it would have to be mind-blowing to go out and get someone like Patrick Mahomes, which I understand. But he has countered with an offer for Kirk Cousins, which I like. This is the offer that we put out to Pitcairn to get a guy like Jackson Smith and Jigba. Still no message back from him. Last time I checked, I'll have another double check in a minute, but last time I checked, nothing back from him, unfortunately. Now up here, this is where I need you guys. All right, this is where I'm going to need some comments, need a little bit of people saying what you think we should do here. So fingers ready, please, on X or on YouTube, wherever you're watching. We got an offer in for Kirk Cousins. And the offer is not bad at all. It is Saitama's 2026 second, a 2027 second, and a 2027 third round pick. Now, obviously, we're wanting first round picks as much as possible. But man, they've been hard to come by. They've been really, really hard to find. So at the minute, this is the offer for Kirk Cousins. If you are watching right now, can you just leave one comment? Either accept, reject, or if you think of something like a counter, then please let me know what your counter would be. Okay? So just let me know what you think the counter should be. I'll pull up good old Saitama's team here so you can see what kind of counters that we could make. Again, there's the offer on the left-hand side, 2 seconds and a third. If you don't get loads of comments rolling in, I'm not seeing any at the minute. I'm hoping that my my StreamYard is working okay. But if I don't get any comments in, we will leave this to the next audience, the non-live audience, who can comment and say, this is what I want to happen. So again, if you're watching this retroactively, not live, then you still have a chance to get to those comments. So there's a minute, 2 seconds and a third for Kirk Cousins. We tried to get Patrick Mahomes. That didn't quite work, unfortunately. Will Levis, I know, was offered at one stage, but I kind of politely shut that down. Henry and Kamara and Hunt are all on there, guys. Again, for a rebuild, we're not really wanting. Tyreek Hill, I did message about him as well, like we'd asked for last week, but no such luck. And Tyreek Hill, he's not really wanting to sell low. Chase is on there. It would be very difficult to get him. Cooper Kupp, we've already sold. Yeah. I don't see too much else there, team, that we could really go with in terms of draft picks. There's a first round pick in 2027. Would we want to get rid of the 2 seconds and try and get a first instead? Is that an option that we might want to make? I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. I'll have to leave it up to you. This is quite unusual, I have to say. No comments rolling in at all. I'm hoping that people are able to comment, because I'm not seeing anything on my end here, which is quite odd, quite unusual. Hopefully things will start rolling through. If not, what I'll do is I'll move on and we'll have a little look at some of the comments from last week instead, will we? So let's move on. The comments are working. Taylor's in the comments. Hey, Taylor, how's it going? Not a fan of 27 picks as much. Yeah, it is super hard to predict what's going to be happening in 2027, obviously. So I think, sticking with the 2 seconds. What do you think in terms of the trade as a whole? 2 seconds and a third for Kirk Cousins. That's going to be the pinned question on this video as well. So if we're not getting loads of comments rolling in now, I'll put that as the pinned comment for this video, and then I'll accept, reject, counter based on what people are thinking. So let's go and switch over to this tab, will we? These are some of the comments that came rolling in last week. So let's have a look and see what people are saying. So Rob, hey Rob. Rob is saying, hi Mags. He's been binging the whole series for the last couple of weeks and loving it. Nice, thank you very much, Rob. Thought I'd comment to say I'm up to date. Yes, please do. I honestly, I love hearing from people. I really like to see when people have been watching it. The more people involved, the better. That's the whole point of this specific video, is let's get more people involved, more people commenting, more people, saying this is what I would do, this is what I would do. Because the more brains you get on this, I think the better we're going to do. So if you're watching this, share this with your home league. Share this with friends that you think might want to get involved. Let's create an army here to take down, Nomad, my arch nemesis, and the others in this league. Let's do it together. Let's get an army. All right. And Rob's joining the army now as well. So Rob's saying he's wanting to join a new Dynasty League as well. Let me know if you would be interested in this. I've never run a league myself, but I've been thinking about it. Would anyone be interested in joining a worst team ever sort of league? We could have some special rules around it. We could have a brainstorm. That's what the whole thing is all about, working together as a team. So if you'd be interested, drop a comment, let me know, and I'll see if I can set that up for next year. But Rob's got a position because he inspired me with that. So Rob's definitely in. But if you want in as well, let me know. And we could maybe start up 2 leagues as well. Rob, and I said, talking about the league, saying if you need FFPC, do good stuff as well. Rob saying, thanks, the tip would be amazing if you'd set up a league. Yeah, I think I will. He's been doing Murph's redraft lister leagues a few years. Great leagues, yes. Yes, and the quality of play is so much better than the random leagues. It's like, yes, that's true. Joined a random one last year. Yeah, it's so hard whenever you join random leagues. I think I've got, relatively lucky with this league. There has been a couple of issues, but I think relatively speaking, this league has been pretty good, actually. CJ in the chat, 27 is further away than I'd like. Yeah, me too. I think that's maybe too. Would you rather have the 2 seconds, CJ, than that 27 first? Taylor said, I'll be down for joining the league. Yeah, let's do it. Let's make a league then. We get enough people involved. Let's do it. Let's make a league. Cody saying, as a Titans fan, Levis is probably done after this year unless we see a quick turnaround. I agree. Yeah, we kind of shut down any kind of talk about a Levis trade, Cody. I think that's for the best, for sure. Chris in the chat, Chris saying, pick up Bob Means. Didn't play well last night. Shahid and Olave. Going needs playtime 2-3 weeks. Zay Jones is a decent pickup, however, his wide receiver 3 before. Yeah. May as well pick up the Ernest Johnson. Unfortunately, weren't able to. I think Bob Means was... I'll have a look. I'll note this down. But I'm pretty sure he's already on someone's team, Chris, but I'll double check and see. Don't drop a set, as May was getting an MRI yet. We may ended up playing. We could drop Hardman, Hollins, Zacchaeus, or Osborne. Osborne, did he have an okay week? He might have had an okay week. Zacchaeus, so probably right, yeah. Keep Worthy over Burnix. Yeah, I don't think we put in an offer for Burnix. But yeah, Xavier Worthy, great player. I think he should be coming good. It's quite like difficult, I think, with rookies as well. A lot of people sort of go and forget that they're rookies, and you're not seeing this extreme production after a couple of weeks, and you think, and try and compare like a Xavier Worthy to a Bryant Thomas Jr. or Malik Neighbors. Some people just take time. Just take a bit of time to get there. Yeah. Chris in the chat. Joining in late. Too busy celebrating Rangers scoring at Ibrox for once. Wow, Rangers actually scored. Well, that's a one for the book, Chris. Absolutely, yeah. And the CJ is saying, I do it. I got a buddy. Oh, I wanted to. Yeah, I think this league could happen then. That sounds pretty good. Let's do it. Let's have a look and see. Damn, don't even have own first. First round pick. Who owns it? Nomad. Yeah. If you're new here, our first round pick is in the clutches of Dark Emperor Nomad, who ghosted us for 3 months and then claimed that he was active. So the guy's a douchebag. So yeah, not much we can do about that, unfortunately. David saying no and no again to that Levis trade offer. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the Levis one was I believe it was something like we would get Levis on a fourth and send Cousins on a third or something ridiculous, right? So yeah, that was a definite no. Yeah, Kyle agreeing, reject that. Cousins over Levis easily. John saying he didn't like the deal for Mahomes. It's been rejected, luckily, anyway. No telling Mahomes ever gets back to his own form and Kelsey's getting older. I think you're better off treating Kirk Cousins for first while he's playing well. T. Higgins should hold his value. Yeah, T's been playing well, which is really good. I got to worry about Penix for Cousins as well. Yeah, this is why I'm like, this trade offer is really right on the edge for me. But we want as much value as possible, and we'd be doing really well at getting as much value as possible out of these players. So the 2 seconds and a third, I don't hate it, but I do feel like you can get first round pick for Kirk Cousins. I do feel like we can get that. Mark chipped in as well, saying suggest Mahomes for Cousins and T, but yeah, it might not be enough. He's pretty much not going to sell Mahomes unless he's getting a blockbuster quarterback on the other end, I think. So yeah, Mark and John sort of went back and forth on Mahomes and Cousins in there. I am Mark also adding to Bo Nix. Yeah, Bo Nix catching heat in the comments here. Absolutely. Chris saying, why leave a third of the way through the season? Bad etiquette. Yeah, don't know what happened to him. Yep. Don't know what happened to him at all. He just kind of upped and vanished, right? Upped and vanished. 2 seconds with 25-26. I do over first and 27. 3 seasons off. Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. This seemed pretty close in value. So I think we'll leave that as the pinned option, will we then? Let's leave that as the pinned question for this week. Now, a few things I also need to get to. T. Higgins, our guy Rye, wants T. Higgins. So he says he does not want to trade down for T, because remember we had a thing with Puka Nacua and him, and he thinks that would be trading down from one player to get T. Higgins, which it would. So we're going to have to try a different approach to try and sell T. Higgins. So we're going to try and do that. And the other thing that I really, really want to try and do here is sell Jameis Winston or Dorian Thompson-Robinson. What kind of offers should we send out? Chris saying, did I miss a new league starting? And we're on the cusp of it, Chris. We're getting close. So you've got a spot if you want it, mate. That's we need to fill 12 positions. So hopefully we'll get there with that. Yeah, that'll be quite good. So let's flick back over, shall we, to our sleeper screen as I hit the wrong button and mess everything up. Cool. What is a great TV. Brilliant job. There we go. So let's flick back over and let's find T. Higgins and see if we can make a trade with our guy, Rye, shall we? Where is he? Rye. There he is. So he said he didn't want to trade down. So that means that we will have to take a player that is worth less than T. Higgins plus picks on top, which I don't hate. I don't hate the idea of. So in terms of draft picks, he does have a first, and he also has our second round pick, which will be high. Now, his first, does it tell you the... No, it doesn't, obviously. Has anyone tried to use Sleeper for PC before? By the way, it's absolutely atrocious. Right, where is Rye in the league? He is here. He is sitting at 3 and 4. So that's probably going to be a mid first. Yeah, let's call it a mid first. So could we go after T. Higgins, get that first round pick, trying to sell off T. Higgins? That's a good start, right? A mid first. T. Higgins is worth more than that. So what else could we put on top of T. Higgins? Do we try and take a risk and use T. Higgins as part of an Anthony Richardson trade? Use Kirk Cousins as part of an Anthony Richardson trade? I think we asked about Richardson earlier with him, and he's not really interested in selling. He kind of believes in him, which fair enough. Believe in your guys. I don't see much else we can do. I would say the first, can we get our second round pick as well? Now, normally I don't like to project too much, but that's going to be a real early second round pick, just based on our team. So the question then becomes, is a first and a second fine for T. Higgins? What do we think? Do we think that is enough value? I'm saying yeah. I'd be pretty happy getting back a first and a second round pick for T. Higgins. I'm not sure what you guys think, but I think that's pretty good value. Pretty good value. So I'll leave you a little while to leave a comment, or maybe we could leave that as another pinned question. Tell me whatever you think about that. But I'm thinking a first and a second for T. Higgins. Can we execute on that? Can we press the send button? Since we can't get Puka, unfortunately, which was our main goal for him, could that be something that we can do? So first and second round pick for T. Higgins. And the other thing would be about Winston. Chris saying, if you can get that, that's fantastic. However, I wouldn't pay it personally. Yeah. It would be great to get that one. Let's fire it off. See if we can get a counter. And go from there. That would be a pretty good return, I think, to get a first and a second. It's probably about what he's worth. I think maybe a little more, considering that second's going to be definitely quite high. But hopefully Rye doesn't figure that out. Hopefully not. Right. The next thing that we need to do is see if we can take advantage of Jameis Winston while we can and try and get out for under him. So, do we think a third round pick? A third and a fourth round pick? What kind of thing are we looking for Jameis Winston? Jeff Flash saying agreeing getting the 25 first and second for T. Yeah, that'd be amazing. I think that'd be really good if we could end up getting that. And yeah, that would only help us build this terrible team up, because in case you are new here, not only was the team awful, it didn't have any picks. We are slowly building them up. So to the point now where we have a second and 1, 2, 3 thirds and 3 fourths next year, which we probably should actually think about, moving some of these, because that's going to be too many players on the roster. So we maybe want to think about moving some of these. In 26, we got 3 firsts. So that's kind of where it'll begin. We got 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds in there. So 2026 is where we're really looking to try and bring this home if we can. So that's really where the money's going to be made. I'm thinking third and fourth is a good sort of spread offer for Winston. Absolutely smashed it now. Yeah, we're doing well. I think we're doing pretty well considering where we started. So let's go. Who would want... I'm just going to send it to everybody, will we? Let's just send it to everybody. Jameis Winston, third and a fourth. And if we get something back with just a third, that's fine. So third and a fourth. So we'll send that to Wanty. We'll just not send it to Lord Vader himself. What's he called? Nomad. Let's leave him out of it. Because I think, especially here, like he needs... getting that one extra quarterback could be huge. Could be absolutely huge for a guy like Anselmo, who has 3 quarterbacks that are okay, but nothing special. So let's see what we can get for Jameis Winston, will we? I think a third and a fourth. I would bite your hand off for that. So I'm just firing these out. By the way, tell me to leave a comment saying stop what you're doing right now if you think that's sort of criminally low for Jameis. But I'm thinking let's just take what we can get while we can. Did I just send out a fourth by accident? I didn't mean to. I did not. That's fine. I thought it sent out a 4th round pick all alone by accident. Let's see. Matt, welcome to the chat, Matt. Matt said, if Rye wanted the 2 picks in, maybe Romeo Dobbs. Yeah, I did look at him, right? Yeah, I looked at him too. He's a good player. It's a bit cloudy in that back room, but I do like Dobbs as a player. He's looked great the last few weeks. Chris saying, what about the end of the season? We look at vets that we could grab from teams prior to the draft for the lower round picks. Most of the rebuild teams would be looking for rookie picks. Yeah, that's a good idea. And then I always like to think of it like as a pendulum. So we want to get those third round picks right when they're most valuable, try and grab a veteran, and then later in 2026 flip that veteran for more. That's the perfect kind of move for a rebuilding team. So yeah, if you're right, let's save those picks until they've accumulated maximum value. I wish there was an option on Sleeper, right? Hear me out. If anyone from Sleeper is listening, I want a send all option, right? I want AI to do this for me, essentially. I want to say like send this to everyone, because it can just take forever. Not going to send anything to Nomad. No, I was going to do it just to annoy him, but I'll not. I'll just leave it because it's just going to be sitting in our inbox, and then it's just going to annoy me. So 4th round pick, 3rd round pick, send. Nathaniel's pretty good at getting back to people, actually. He's been a good guy, Nathaniel. Mr. Buckeye, let's see. He's got quite a few quarterbacks, but always worth sending it out to people anyway. 3rd and a 4th. There we go. And again, this is kind of a tactic. I don't know if anyone else does this. If you're playing any leagues with me, you'll know I do this. I do like to do this quite a lot, where I'm like, right, I want to send this player, and instead of just putting them onto the block, I like to be a bit more aggressive than that a lot of the time and actually go out and send out the offers, because it's just a bit more forward, especially when you need to rebuild. And I just find you get a bit more success. Now, that's not saying that we're going to get any success here, but I just feel like it does generally work a little bit better in terms of being able to offload players, or at the very least it works with getting some counters put in, which is, half the battle sometimes. Is just getting, this is just the worst thing to use in the world, with getting people to reply. Any new offers coming in? No. Hey, we can send out a load of trades. Is that, where do we get to? Bill's Mafia. Pick card hasn't come back to us in ages, so I'll not send him another one. So let's go Sean M as the last one. For Jameis Winston, let's push our luck and see if we can get a 27th second for him for that one. We've always sent out a 3rd and a 4th. Let's see if we can stretch it out and get a late second for Jameis Winston as well. Why the hell not? Yeah, Chris saying, yeah, that's what we should do with those picks. Agreed. We should do that pendulum then. Buck. Well, I think you're new in the chat here. Welcome aboard, Buck. Send Worthy and a 2nd for Dobbs and a 1st. No matter what trade you do, make sure you're getting picks, or at least a pick upgrade. Yeah, absolutely. That is 100% what we want to do. We want to get those picks as valuable as possible. So that's what we have been trying to do as much as humanly possible. Anyway, we've been trying to tack on little things here, upgrade our picks here and there. It's been really difficult to get 1st round picks, and I've seen this in the league as well. No matter what trade goes down, it doesn't seem like 1st round picks are moving anywhere. Now, if you go back and look at episode 1, episode 2 of this, you'll see where our 1st round picks went, and it's absolutely criminal. But yeah, we gotta make do. We gotta go through with it. We gotta make do. All right, let's set our lineup for next week, shall we? Let's see if we can do a bit of a better job than last time. I want to see if we can break the 100-point barrier. We're estimated at 89 right now, so let's see if we can crack 100, shall we? So Spencer Rattler, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Samaje Perine to running back room. I mean, my God, this is the best it's looked all year, by the way. Edwards-Helaire and Perine in there. Brian Thomas, Tucker, who's done actually pretty well, hasn't he? Tucker. Juju is out with, was it his hamstring? Yeah, hamstring. He pulled up right away last week, so that was unfortunate. This is probably part of the reason why we ended up with such a low percentage for our managerial choices, because, yeah, it didn't turn out the best for me there. So let's put Cousins up there because he's playing in the normal slot on Saturday. Okay, Tucker and Thomas will stay. Schultz. Now, do we want to swap in a guy like Noah Fant? Noah Fant's been playing really well lately. So do we want to swap in Noah Fant instead of Dalton Schultz? Fant going up against Buffalo, Schultz going up against the Indianapolis Colts. So that could be something that we could think. You didn't add Jameis to that trade with Nathaniel. Did I just ask Nathaniel for a pick? Okay, let's modify that one. Thank you. I think, sorry, Nathaniel, if you catch wind of this, I didn't. I mean, if you want to just give me them, you can. That's obviously fine. Thank you, CJ. Let's. Yeah, thank you, CJ. That's quite embarrassing. No, make sure we tanking leaving shots. Well, the thing is, we got none to tank for. We don't have our own first. We don't have our own second. I want to get as many wins as possible. So our first round pick, that's with Nomad at the minute, is as little value as possible. So I want to win just to kind of shove in his face as much as possible. We have 2 wins, which is 2 more than I thought we would have. We are currently bottom of the league, but look how many people are on 2 and 5. So we might not finish dead last. I think Fant has been proving the last few weeks that he's been on more form. So let's go with Fant. Higgins will stay in. We'll flip him up here because he's playing at the earlier games. Juju will have to come out. So that means we can put in one of these guys. KJ Osborne. Why is he predicted to have like less than a point? Did KJ Osborne not have a pretty decent week with Drake May? Yeah, well, 13. Yeah, 1 touchdown. Yeah, 3 catches. Yeah, not great. That's okay. But you did all right. Darius Slayton stands out because he's been on a roll. I know Malik Neighbors was out for these games and he has been quiet since, but he's been someone that's looked all right. Kendrick Bourne, he's now back and healthy again. Samuel always has the ability to blow up a little bit. Jameis Winston, I think we should probably put in instead of Spencer Rattler, right? Just for the upside. I'm thinking that's probably a good idea to do. Damn, kept forgetting that. Yeah, I know. It's a shame that we don't have any of our actual picks to tank for, which is quite annoying. Matt C93. Hey, Matt. From the drop players, I feel like Eovas is someone we should snap up. He looked good when Higgins missed time. Yeah, great shot, because Higgins is more than likely leaving. Yeah, we're going to get to the waiver wire right after we set our lineups, Matt, definitely. Chris and Jeff Flash saying, yeah, let's put in Jameis. Let's do it. All right, Jameis Winston. If he's still in our team, he might have been snapped up by somebody else. Jameis, you're in. And then Juju, man, is he playing yet? Roman Wilson? Has he even played a snap yet? I'm leaning here. I'm looking at Curtis Samuel, thinking he's got the potential to explode. We could put it in Dalton Schultz as well. Mecole Hardman had a big week last week. We could put him in. So I'm sort of torn between those guys. It's Samuel, Hardman, and Dalton Schultz. Those are the 3 that I can think of at the moment anyway. Do we have anyone on our taxi? Not really. No one that can come off that taxi squad. What do you guys think? Who's standing out to you there? Just Cash Head Nathaniel. Do you mind if you have our 3rd and 4th? Yeah, why not? I should ask everyone that. Chris saying Schultz. Yeah, I'm happy going with Schultz. He's probably the guy that's going to get guaranteed points out of those. Let's just make sure Schultz is in the right spot. There we go. All right. So our lineup as of right now is Kirk Cousins. Now, Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Smashy P. Ryan, in case you're wondering, it's because we only have one other player, and it's Dalvin Cook, and he's the mascot. So he can't really play. He's just the guy in the big costume for the Dallas Cowboys at the minute. So, yeah, unfortunately, Dalvin Cook can't play. I'm still sure he's going to get a shot. Why wouldn't he at this stage? I mean, how washed do you have to be that Zeke Elliott is playing better than you? I just find it so hard to believe he's that bad. And maybe he is. When did he last play? Like, He ended up somewhere decent last year, right? Where did he go? He went somewhere last year. I can't remember. Was it the Jets? I can't remember where he ended up, or the Bills. He ended up somewhere where I was like, oh, and then they just never used him. They just never used him. Yeah, man, he was bad last year. He was bad. Year before that, Machine. Huh. Very weird. Very, very weird. Just fell off a cliff, right? Just got old overnight. Happens with running backs, doesn't it? That's crazy. All right, let's have a look at this waiver wire, shall we? Trades, anything coming in? No. All right, players, free agents. Who is projected to get the most? Mason Rudolph is there. Now, we could pick up Mason Rudolph. We could. But here's the issue. No one's going to trade for him. Like, nobody's going to trade for him at all. Baltimore Snorkelson, thank you. Yes, that's where he ended up. He ended up at Baltimore, and they never really used him that much. Yeah, I knew he was somewhere. It was like, oh, that's quite nice. But yeah, it was never a thing. We could pick up Rudolph. But when's the last time you seen Mason Rudolph get traded for anything? So it's like, what's the point? You know? What's the point? We could, on the off chance that Rudolph has a Sam Darnold reemergence. It isn't the worst idea picking up quarterbacks, I suppose. So we could go for that. We have Lucas, is it? Yes, Lucas Kroll. Yeah, he's like, yeah, whatever. Right. Tim Patrick, we've already cut. Turner, he's a lot older than I thought, right? He's 27. Yeah, 27, DJ. Yeah, I agree on Iavas. I think that's a really good pickup. So the question is, who do we drop? So KJ Osborne's there. We've got Kendrick Bourne, Noah Brown, Dalvin Cook, of course, the mascot. Jacoby Brissett. I mean, he could probably just be dropped. Why don't we... We could just drop Brissett and pick up Mason Rudolph, right? Could do that. Dalvin Cook, of course, we can drop, but I've been reluctant to do that. So one of these. How's Zacchaeus been doing? Let's see. Zacchaeus. Meh. 6 targets, actually. It's not awful. Osborne's been getting 1 or 2 targets. Kendrick Bourne, he's just come back from injury, so we know he can be reliable. Noah Brown, 8 targets, 1 target. Yeah. This is looking like it might have to be Dalvin, annoyingly. Yeah. We might have to drop Dalvin. That will break my heart if he comes back. But it might be Iavas in, Dalvin Cook out. But I just have a feeling that it's not the best idea. I'm thinking Noah Brown is 28. Who else do they have there? Terry and Zacchaeus. Well, we've got Brown and Zacchaeus, so I don't think we need both. Right? So the question would be, which one's going to be more fantasy relevant? So Noah Brown is in there. It's going 5, 6, 7, 8 points a game. Zacchaeus 2. Yeah, I'm thinking Zacchaeus isn't really going to be anything big, is he? And Iavas, I think, is a better prospect than him. Yeah, Chris Brown or Zacchaeus. I agree. Let's go Zacchaeus. Right? I just think Noah Brown's a better player than Zacchaeus. I think Zacchaeus is a journeyman. He's fine, but I think overall, not going to help us. And no one's ever going to put in a bid for Zacchaeus ever, unless he just dominates the rest of the season. So Let's do that. We got a waiver wire bid in there. Do we want to put a bid on Rudolph and just get rid of Brissett? I'm kind of like may as well at this stage, right? Just kind of flip the quarterbacks over, get one that's starting, see what happens. Nolan Brown, pick them both up. Dulcich is done. It's crazy, right? Absolutely crazy. I thought he was going to be like a sneaky guy this year, but obviously not. Brown. I'm not seeing Brown on here at all, unfortunately. Evas, we put a bit in. Brown. Carson Steele is still there. Let's have a look. Quarterbacks, Rudolph is there. Running back, Steele, Ogunbowale, and then, we're into your fullbacks. Wide receivers, Tim Patrick, Dallas Turner, Zed Jones, Evas, we've already put a bid in for. Ronnie Bell. Huh. Yes, interesting. Tyler Johnson. I think Cooper Kupp's coming back, isn't he? So he's probably not really worth doing too much over. People were going loopy-loo over Jalen Brooks not too long ago, but he got 6 targets. 6 targets for Jalen Brooks. That's an interesting. The problem is now, thankfully, we got a couple of good players. Mill is a sneaky guy. Let's pick him up. Let's do it because he's in the tight end list here, right? Where is he? There he is, Lucas Null. Let's pick him up, and that's I think where we can quite happily get rid of good old what's his chops, Jacoby. So let's do that. Jacoby Brissett, he's done. So we've got 2 waiver bids in there. We've got Evas and Lucas Null coming in. So that should be quite good. Oh yeah, this is actually at history. That was quite cool. So let's have a look and let's review then. Unless anyone has any other questions, if you do get them in now, let's review the things that we want to do. If you're watching this after the fact, this is what I want to see in the comments. The Kirk Cousins trade that came in, which is 2 seconds and a third. You can see here, 4-hour Kirk Cousins. What are we going to do about that? Do we accept? Do we counter? Do we decline? And try and go out and get something more, something bigger, something better for Kirk Cousins? That's the main thing. The second main point of this video, let's get more people involved, right? Let's try and get as many people involved as possible with this. I want to create an army of people involved in this team, coming in every week, commenting, saying, this is what we need to do. This is my sneaky guy. Like, this is what I love. Stuff like this from Snorkelson, where it's like, actually, this is the guy. This is in here. Like, people have got insider knowledge about different players. People support different teams. I want as much knowledge as possible for this team because, goddamn, I'm going to need it. If you have not already, make sure you've liked, make sure you've subscribed. This goes live every Thursday, so make sure you're hitting that little bell as well because it'll tell you exactly when I'm out and live. What players does Saitama have? We kind of reviewed over it earlier. There's not really a lot of other options. The only option was Mahomes, and the rest of it's kind of like, doesn't really work. You got a lot of running backs, which of course we don't really want. So it's more the picks that we're after for him. And we already tried to get Mahomes, and unfortunately, and Tyreek Hill was the other one that he's not selling Tyreek Hill. Also, you got league number again. It's tough to make choices not knowing the league. Oh yeah, now where do you find that again? Is it here, right? It'll be down the bottom here, right? I'm sure I find it in here. It's probably not on the PC version because the Sleeper just seems to automatically reroute you to your phone. Yeah, I don't see anything here. No. I will get it to you. All right. If If you remind me, I will put it into the comment. I'll look it up on my phone and I'll pop it into the comments. So after this is finished, if someone wants to put a comment saying what's the league number, and I'll end up I'll put it in there. Snorkelson, don't end up empty-handed holding out more. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's really fine balance, isn't it? Super fine balance. I think this isn't the worst offer. So I'm happy to accept this one. 2 seconds and a third for Cousins. It's one of our last chances to get a first round pick, I think. So I'm like, right, what can we do? What can we do? It was definitely in an earlier video, Chris. Yeah, you'll find out. It'll be somewhere. All right, guys, that's enough from me. I think you've heard enough of my absolute ramblings for 45 minutes now. So thank you so much for joining. One last time, thumbs up on the video, hit and subscribe if you've not already. Make sure to tell your friends about it as well. And guys, can you please remember that this has been another episode of the Worst Team Ever, at least the worst team ever for now. And remember that greatness is not born, it's built. Yes. See you next week with another win coming for the Worst Team Ever.